Hey there, I'm Leanne.
And I'm Lucille.
Welcome to Love and Light, where we talk all things life with our foundation rooted in Jesus.
Just two friends sharing their thoughts, opinions, and experiences. So join us as we take this journey exploring life together.
So today we're going to be speaking about if you could go back, focusing on back to the past, lessons learned, and letting God. Now that we've just spoken in our last episode about, knowing when to stay and when to let go, how would that change your outcome now about thinking about going back? And if you could, would you, to change an outcome in a situation?
I wouldn't. If I really think about it, and, if you had to ask me that question, back then, I probably would have said yes. Mm-hmm. But if I really sit and take the time to think about it, I really wouldn't, because I feel like every experience, every mistake, every bad decision, everything played a part in who I am. It was a stepping stone to becoming who I am today. So I really don't think that I would go back.
I don't know, hey. I think in certain situations, there are days when I'm like, but if I had known that this was going to happen, then maybe I could just go back to the day before and be like, and don't do that. Don't say yes to that. Or don't accept this. And I think that plays a lot on my mind.
Okay.
I would, for certain situations, I would. But then I think about the consequences if I do go and change it. What then happens to me as the person if I go back and change?
Like the butterfly effect.
Exactly. Then you think to yourself, so like a silly example, say you fell and then that gave you a whole lot of money from that company. Now you go back and change the fact that you fell because it was embarrassing. I mean, it's a stupid example, but that would be the butterfly effect. You then don't get that settlement or whatever.
100%. No, 100%.
So I think you do have to think about it and go, is it worth going back and changing that situation?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there are those things like my grandmother passing away. I would love to change, that situation and have her here with us. I mean, in my mind, I don't think that would have an effect in anything, but it probably would because that was not her journey.
Yes.
But like you said, it's built the person we are today that gives us that experience, that life experience of knowing better. Because it taught you something.
Yeah.
And that's where we go into the lessons learned, and how it has shaped you as a woman.
Maybe I'm just really embracing God's love and God's presence in my life. And for me, I think because that's where I am, right? I understand that everything that has happened had to happen for me to be where I am today and who I am. I mean, yes, granted, there are certain situations where you think back and you're like, but are you sure you wouldn't want to change this? Maybe this, But even in those moments, I can't explain it, but I just feel like I don't think I would go back. And you spoke about your grand passing, right? For me, for the longest time, I could not get over my grandmother's passing. I couldn't do it. I was not okay with it. And any chance I would think about, I would be like, if I just had one more day, if I just had one more moment, one more time. But now, I kind of feel like I miss her. Every single day I miss her,
always.
Right? But it's okay. She's where she's where she is, right? She's where she needs to be, and I am where I need to be, right? And I wouldn't risk changing anything for one more day. Exactly, for one more day, because I'm so comfortable where I am right now, and I'm so at peace with where I am right now, and my life and my marriage and professionally, and just growing as a person, as myself. And finally, I feel like for the first time, I finally know who Lucille is and where Lucille is going. So I wouldn't risk that.
Because it could change the slightest thing in your life.
Exactly. I could go back and change something and sit and then now I'm like,
I don't end up in this
oh,
place. Like, why did
30
I
years,
do
where am
that?
I going to, you know? So for me, I feel like I have this mindset where I look to the future, not to the past. Because what happened, my past is the past. What happened in the past happened. I can't change it. And even if I could, I wouldn't. It's not important. It's done. It's gone. We have to forget about it. I have to move on. It's those things it's lessons that I've learned in my past that I can apply to my future to ensure that, okay, I can handle things better. I can go about certain relationships better, whether it's friends, whether it's work. I can make decisions, firmly now without a doubt because I know who I am and what I want. Exactly. So, yeah, I wouldn't risk it. I know.
Yeah, as nice as it would sometimes, be to make the change, I also don't think I would. I mean, I would like to, but I don't think I actually would if I was given because I am today because of the grief and the experience that came from whatever I went through. And you learn so much from your mistakes.
Yeah.
As much as you want to take away the hurt that came from a situation or a life choice, you're going, if I had known that this person was going to hurt me in this way, if I go back to maybe the day we met and I tell myself, don't interact with them.
Yes.
Don't, because then you're not going to get this hurt later on in 10 years, in 5 years, whatever. And then you think to yourself, oh, that would be wonderful. But I look at it and I go, but would I be as strong of a person that I am today if I didn't get hurt the way I did?
It's almost like you guarding yourself from life. Like, I can imagine myself as a first-time parent, right? Imagine all of that.
The anxiety.
Yeah, the anxiety, but also like the paranoia that comes with being a first-time mom. So you almost want to like put your child in a bubble so that bubble wrap them and then you know that they're safe. But then you're not doing that child any favors because how are they going to learn? And I feel like it applies to what we're speaking about, in the same context. I feel like had I not have gone through what I had gone through, I would not have been the strong person that I am now. I wouldn't have known how to deal with certain things, that I have to deal with. I wouldn't have known that, okay, these are my boundaries. This is where I draw the line. This is what I don't like. This is what I can tolerate. This is what I don't have to tolerate. I think about, and this is years high school. You think, when you're in high school, peer pressure, you want to fit in.
Yes.
You maybe made a couple of bad mistakes,
but stuff.
Exactly. But now I know that I don't need to fit into anywhere. I'm authentic. I'm okay being myself, and I don't have to change myself to fit in anywhere. If I think about, your first boyfriend and like how hard that breakup
and then
is,
you're like, I can change that.
Exactly. I wouldn't change it because it was sad and it was hurt. Oh, it felt like the end of the world. But I'm better now because I know that when I love wholeheartedly. I can't love.
I can just put my one foot in and maybe I like
exactly.
you and we'll see
I love
how it goes.
wholeheartedly, and I deserve that same love. And I mean, look, I'm in a marriage where that is reciprocated. I love as much as he loves me and vice versa. So if that did not happen, I wouldn't have known, that this is what I deserve and this is what I want. I mean, I wouldn't have known how to deal with my emotions, So I just feel like I wouldn't, girl, no. No.
And it does. When you start thinking about where you're at now and when you're going into the future, you use those decisions, for me now at the moment, going through such a heavy breakup, I now know what I want in a partner.
Exactly.
I know this is how I want to be treated. I know that this is what I deserve. And if I'm not going to get that, then I'm not going to put myself through so many years of whatever it is. Because I've now been through that experience. I've learned that this type of treatment is not okay. This type of way of speaking
Yeah.
to each other is not okay. But if you've never had that, you'll go into a relationship being maybe the not better version of yourself because you've never learned anything. So now I cancelled all of that by going back into the past and changing it. I get into a new relationship, you're going to make those same mistakes because you had nothing to learn from.
Yeah.
And that's why I think even if people had the opportunity, it wouldn't be a good idea for you to go and change because you're losing such valuable lessons. And it's also teaching you as the person what is acceptable
Yeah.
and what you actually like in life. Because you don't know that until you actually experience it. I mean, how would you know a candy tastes nice if you never taste the candy? How do you know if you want to be a public speaker if you never go stand up and do a presentation?
Exactly.
You won't know what the experience is like because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to learn. And then you go and learn it, and then you take that away from yourself. There's nothing then
Yeah,
there.
it kind of feels like that saying, when they say you're alive, but are you really living? Type of thing.
Because now you're just going with the motion, but then you would have nothing to fall back on if you actually changed anything.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if we're being honest, right? Like we said, those lessons made us better people. I can say that 100% about myself. And I've learned also how to treat people because of certain situations. And I know what type of friends I want, how I want to be around my friends, and the type of people that I want around me now, that feed me as much as I give, they give back. It's no longer just, because I mean, obviously, when you're younger, you're going through that journey of self-discovery. So
you go into any group,
anything,
any
like
friendship,
your main focus is
just
to
being
fit
part.
in. You want to be a part of something. Anything,
whatever it is, I'm jumping in there.
Exactly. And I think that's also it's a very important journey because it's through that literally where you discover yourself. And it's okay if you don't know who you are at that age, but I mean, allow yourself to go through the motions. But then when you get to a point where I am now, I'm really, I think for me also it's this thing where I'm so scared that if I decide to go back, right, I don't want anything to change the now. I'm so happy, I'm so confident. Family, friends, marriage. I mean, I met you. We have a good friendship, a genuine friendship. My husband and I, we're happy. We're in a good relationship, a relationship that serves me as much as it serves the other person. Church, spiritually, like, I'm in just a great space that...
If you make
also, I feel like I'm about to cry, but do you get what I mean, right?
Because it's emotional.
Yeah, like, I feel like I'm at such a good space and I'm at so much peace because I'm like... I don't want to go back and change that,
Because changing maybe that one friendship that you had could mess up everything because that person could take you down the wrong path that you were never actually meant to be on. That's why you're no longer friends.
Yeah.
So it does. One little simple change could catapult so many dominoes in your life. But it's always nice to think about it. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, it's wonderful to sit and go, if I never made this decision, I'm probably sure I'd be in. But you probably wouldn't because that was not meant for you. Which I think also then takes us into letting God. Because if we want to constantly control our life, where are we making the space for Him?
That's true. Like, you see, I've learned that I'm so heavy on that let go and let God. It's such a simple statement. It sounds like such a cliche, but the magnitude of what that small statement carries, I can't explain it, right? And again, I'm at that point where I'm telling you, I've learned to let go and let God. And literally, I feel like my life and the direction of my life is moving according to God's will and God's path and God's vision. So I can say without a shadow of doubt that I'm exactly where I need to be, and I'm on the right path. It's the most perfect time for me to be career-wise. I'm just about starting my career. This YouTube channel. I've wanted to do this so many years, but it was never the right time because it just never happened.
It wasn't the time
until now. And like I was saying,
because if you had done it before, you may not spiritually been in the space where you needed to be.
Literally. And I'm ready for all these things because I'm confident in myself, right? And I'm calmer, and I know who I am, like I said, and where I want to go. So everything that gets thrown at me, I'm able and ready and capable to deal and respond in a way that's going to benefit me.
Yeah.
And
when you let God, you get so much bigger than what you thought you would.
Way bigger.
Because his blessings are not minute. No. When he gives overflowingly. But here we're sitting and trying to control. But that's our human nature. And the thing is, if we didn't believe that way, we wouldn't be human. Because as a human, you want to end the pain.
Yeah.
You want to stop whatever's going to hurt you in time.
Yes.
But sometimes you need to go through that to get you to the next stage in your life where God is going to use all of what you went through, and then you're going to say to yourself,
benefit.
Exactly, because then you're going to say to yourself, you see, God, you made me go through that because you've given me this, and now I know how to appreciate, respect this, and then you live in it so much better because you've allowed him to be the pilot, the driver. But if you go back, you're going to miss all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it once again, it's life, it's fun, it's nice to think about, but it's also better to just allow God to be.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that you want to say on our 3 points?
I don't look back. I'm just looking forward. And I finally understand, that scripture in the Bible where it says that he'll take all of your sorrows and all of everything that went against you and will turn it for your greater good. I understand that. Yeah.
I'm living proof of that. I see it every single day. I live it. I breathe it. I see it. It's all around me. So personally, I wouldn't look back because it's in the past. And I also kind of feel like if you look back, those feelings of coulda, woulda, shoulda, no, I'm not trying to tempt myself. I'm not trying to look into things that did not work out. It did not work out for a reason. So I'm a firm believer in we look that way.
Yeah.
As much as, like I said to you, I do think about it,
Yeah.
I am grateful for everything that I have gone through. I am grateful for everything that God has brought me through, because I can sit here today and say how great my God is for bringing me through some of the hardest lessons that I had to learn. So no, to wrap it, I wouldn't go back and change it, because I like who I am today. I like who I've become, and I like where I'm going. So I think looking forward is always the better option.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Love and Light. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a comment on the platform that you are watching on. We'd love to know what you thought about today's episode.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and give us a follow on our social media. Our handle is @LoveandLightPod. Thank you. Until next time. Goodbye.